Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the third video of this playlist. In the previous video, I forgot to make this load more button, so this one doesn't work. We left off by loading in our data, and today we're going to get the images, and we're also going to get the load more. First, let's start off by load more. First of all, we have this button right here, this button right here. Where is it? Right there. Nope, right there. There we go. And this button has an ID of S button right there. So I'm up here, I'm going to just add S button. And this can be whatever. You can just call it SB. And right here, we can just write SB equals document.getElement by ID, and we're gonna get this element right here. So we're grabbing any element that has the ID of S button, and we're grabbing the first one. So if there's multiple ones, we're gonna grab the first one. And we have this S button, right? You know what? I'm gonna just minimize this and minimize this. So we're going to add an event listener dot add event. Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, it's not called SB. Add event listener right there, and we're going to add an event listener that triggers every time someone clicks. So if someone clicks, it's going to trigger, and we're going to use arrow functions right here. This arrow is going to run, or this function is going to run. The function that is going to run is, this is going to be changed, right? We're going to add 30. So it's going to add 30 every time. And now we're going to console.log the position 1. And I know that this is going to work, so I'm going to just like also console.log this URL. And you're going to see that our position, this variable gets incremented, but this URL stays the same. You're going to see what I mean. So I'm going to just inspect, or we have it open here, right? We can just like inspect and then maneuver our way to this console right there. And once we click on the button right there, I'm going to drag this a bit. And once we click on that, we have that position 1 right there, which is 30. We're going to click on it again, and we're going to have 60, but then our our URL is going to be the same. The start right there, after the start, is supposed to equal our position 1, but as you can see right here, it's still 0, and that is because we have to reassign this. So right after we change the variable, we're gonna have to change the URL to be this new variable, or this incremented variable in here. So like this. Once we click here, we're gonna do this, and as you can see, it says 30 there, and start is 30. Load more, and we have function, or we have 60, and we have 60 right there, and it's still limited by 30, which is good. And the other good thing to do is, instead of writing this again, which you could, copy this, you could just copy this and do it right there again. And anytime they press load, it loads more, like it should be, right? This works. But another way of doing is putting it in a function and then calling the function over and over again. So I could create a function called again and put this function, or wrap this function around again like this. Right there. And you're probably going to wonder, Well, that function is not run unless we press load more, then it loads our data. One sec, what did I do? I think I let's see, uncut error again is not defined. I think I misspelled it, but that's okay. There we go. But now that's a problem, right? It starts at 31 because this was 0, and when we press the button, it added 30 to 0, which is 30, and then it started from 30, which is the next coin is 31. That's not good, is it? It's not. So we're going to have to call this function down here, and this only gets called once, right? So this gets, a function is made, and in the function it requests to an API, it gets the data, puts it up, and it calls that function once. And then every time you click on the button, the variable is changed and the URL is changed and the function is called yet again. And now we don't have to console.log, and as you can see, we have properly working load more. Yep, 31 all the way to 60, all the way to 90 and 120, so on and so on, right? Now we're going to get into the URL. There is a few things I'm going to tweak, and the first one is, actually I'm going to completely get rid of this because we're not using this icon paragraph. We're going to actually use an actual image, an image tag, and this image tag is going to just have a normal source. So right there, right, and just so I don't break my code, I am going to do this. So it has a source and it's closing, and we are going to also, a sec, as you can probably see, there is something wrong. Yeah, as you can see, there is something wrong with my code for that to be happening. So we have this, we closed it, we closed it, we have, oh yeah, I forgot to add this on. So we have these, right? As you can see, there is border around it. I mean, after you put on the icon, you're gonna see there is border. So maybe add this right there. And also add this for the names header. So names header should have a width of 100 pixels, not 1,000, but 100 pixels. And so that gives it like that beautiful blocky style to it. In my previous video, we had that problem where it was like, I'm gonna just take it out and show you guys. We had this problem. As you can see, it's like, it looks like a snake, you know. If you think this is cool, you could keep it on. If not, take it out. So yeah, there, now it's like blocky and nice. It looks good to look at. So after you do that, you're probably gonna want to style it, or actually you're gonna want to add those images, right? So if you go to their website, so at CoinLore, right there, we have coinlore.com. As you can see, they have images, right? Well, if you drag this image into the search bar and you press enter, as you can see, it takes you to the image, and that image is at this right here. It's in their website in a folder called image, and inside of that image folder there is a 25 by 25 folder, and that is where you get the image. Going back, you can see that the image name is actually equivalent to that. So it says theater, right? Theater or theater. I don't know how to pronounce that. So you just like drop it in there, and as you can see, the name right there is theater. Well, we could actually just click on this, search it up. As you can see, that is the image. we could just copy this, right? We could just copy it, and in our JavaScript right here, 2 single quotes and 2 plus signs, and in here, actually right here, we can put the image, and then we can get rid of this, and in here, actually yeah, in here we can open our DT, and in our data we have, or the current position, we can get the name ID, which is a lowercase version of the name. So the name, when you write the name, it's gonna like return Bitcoin like that. Oops, there we go, like that, and that's capitalized, but we could get rid of it, and because it gives us this name ID, and then at the ending of that we want a .png. So it gives us a name ID, whether that is just normal Bitcoin, and then at the ending of that it is .png, and that is being searched up right there from that website, from their website. So reload that, and as you can see, we do actually have that image, but as you can see, there is a little bit of a problem with space, so that can be achieved with a class, a Bootstrap class called ME, margin to the right of 2, and you could make it 5, whatever you wish, you could add it on. So yeah, these are all here, and now we're gonna get into the styling, right? So yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to tweak a few things. The first thing I'm going to tweak, or I'm going to add, is span tags. So I'm gonna add a few span tags. I already have this code. Sorry guys, forget about that ring. I do actually have a few, oops. Yeah, I do actually have a few span tags that I'm going to add in. It is no problem, you could just copy this out. Okay, that looks, yeah, there we go. So it's a few span tags. So we had this paragraphs. All I basically did was just do like that. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys what I did, instead of copying or pasting it in right there. And you don't have to break it up at this specific point. And then surrounding this, or inside of my paragraph, I put a span. So like this. Don't forget to put the plus sign, and then I put a span tag like so, like here, and delete right there, delete right there. In this span tag, I put the style, and I put color, and color of market, or color. This market does not have a color. What has a color is 1 hour change, or hourly change. So I'm gonna just cut this over. I just noticed that this is market cap, so we don't have to do anything for market cap. We can just leave it the way it is, right? But then for this guy, we're probably going to want to add this right there, right there, and then close our span tag. Do not forget to close our span tag. We could do that right here. We could just, I guess, span, and I'm going to just copy this in here and in here, and I'm going to change 7-day, or whoops, our 7-day change, and this is going to be our change for 24, and we are going to do 24 and color 7-day right here. these variables are going to have to be defined up here. So variable color, and then for this right here, and color for 7-day, and we're going to check if the change hour, so this variable, right, which is a number, we're going to check if that number is below 0, right? If it is, then the color 1 hour is going to equal red. Else if, and this is if change is not, or is, if change is bigger than 0, then color is going to, or change 1 hour, oops, so change 1 hour is bigger than 0, then color 1 hour is going to equal green. Else, if it's not smaller than 0 and it's not bigger than 0 and it is 0, then color is going to equal, you could make it yellow, but I'm gonna make it, no, I'm gonna make it black, right? So negative 0.02 is smaller than 0, so it's red. This is all green, and this is only for hourly change. We haven't done this for anything else. So then we can just copy this a couple more times and change all these variables. Whoops. So you press this and you press Control D, which selects the next lookalike, or the next thing that looks like the one that you selected. So this is gonna be change 24 right there, and then this is going to be 24, and I just noticed that I forgot to put H here, and I'm going to put 24 here. And now the color is there for this, and I just realized it's not coloring this percent, so I am going to go down here and get percent. Is it? Yeah, it's adding 2% signs, so I'm going to delete this percent right here and this percent right here. There we go. Now it's only 1% right there, or like a percent of 1. Our volume does not have color, but our weekly does, so we are going to do our weekly. So copy this one more time and paste it in here, and then Control D, and change this to 7D. So there we go. Now that it is actually colored, we can go ahead and add those icons. The icons are found on Bootstrap icons right there, and inshallah I'm going to also try and put this in my description box. Alhamdulillah. So now let's get up into and search up the word up, press enter, and it's gonna give us I think I pressed Control R. Search up, and it's gonna give us a list of arrow keys pointing up. The one that we want is this one right here, which is being used on my site, right? So we have this, and then you could do JavaScript where it flips it upside down, but you don't need to do that. So I'm gonna control and then click on it. So control, click on it, opens it in a new tab, and then I'm gonna search up for down, which is, where's down? But anyways, they have the same name, you don't have to worry. So you can just copy this. I'm gonna show you what you could do after that. So if it is red, then change, actually let's do it for the first one. So if it is change, or if change 1 is lower than 0, smaller than 0, then we could take our variable change hour, and we could, our change hour is going to equal, you know what, so that we don't have to consistently you're gonna know what I mean. So up is going to be, and down is going to be, so up is going to be this right here, or whoops, single quotes is better, so it doesn't interrupt our double quotes. You could just escape this, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to get into it. So yeah, up is going to equal our this up, and our down is going to be exactly that, but pointing down. So Control D and down right there, which this is exactly the same. So if you search this up in Bootstrap, you are going to get the down icon. Oops, right there, you got the down one right there, and it is the same exact code that we pasted right here. As you can see, nothing will actually change. As you can see the values don't change. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of this site, and this one, and this one, and this one. So we have these two. So now we're going to grab our change, and we're going to equal it. So our change is going to equal up, right? No, actually down, because it's red. And as you can see, so if it's actually below 0, it's going to be that arrow key, or that arrow pointing down. The good thing is that you still have your your data, that number. It's still change 1 hour right there. So we added down, and then it's going to add the number. So down and the number, and we could basically copy this and paste it in here and make this equal to up, and then we can come in here and this just equals itself, or you could just leave it the way it is. So if it is 0, then it's 0, or you could add, like, I don't know, a dash, whatever it is. So yeah, we have those arrows pointing up and arrows pointing down. Now we're going to just copy the exact same code, or write the exact same code for our change. First of all, I'm going to come in here and change our 24, and this is going to be up, or actually down, and it's going to also equal 24. Sorry guys, typing skills is not that good. And here it's gonna equal the exact same code. Just now it's gonna be up, and here it's going to be change 7D, and it is going to be down, and we're also gonna copy this over, and we can just get rid of that. It does nothing. Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, this does nothing. The colons do nothing, or the semicolons do nothing. So this is gonna point up and not down, and there we go. As you can see, we have exactly everything we have here. So I'm gonna just reload. So yeah, everything is working, volume is working. I don't see anything missing, which is good. So yeah, inshallah, we're done of this playlist. I hope you guys subscribe and like this video, and check out other playlists that I'm going to make and the ones that I've already made. So inshallah, assalam.